Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and this is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. And today's a return of Mario Kart World. We're going to be listening to Underground BGM from Super Mario Bros. And another version of Underground BGM, the guitar version. And these are both from the Nintendo Music channel requested by Mayro. Thank you very much. I'm not entirely sure if Super Mario Bros. Is like the very first game. Because I've always heard that word, right? Super Mario Bros. But I'm not entirely sure like what that means. But just a side note for those that are wondering, on my last Paper Mario video, I asked a bunch of people what's the first Mario game I should play, and I got a bunch of answers. And I think I narrowed it down to 2, which I'm not going to reveal anytime soon. But I'm definitely going to be playing my first Mario game in 2026, so that's exciting, based on all these suggestions that I got. So it's been a lot of Mario on my mind lately, and I still have more Mario coming later, so. Anyways, this is Underground BGM. I'm not sure if I've ever heard anything from Super Mario Brothers. I don't know. But Mario Kart World, let's go. This is one of those, oh, today I learned videos. I've been hearing this my whole life and not knowing what it was called. See, I don't know, like what Super Mario Bros. And like Mario Bros. Like if they're synonymous, you know what I mean? Like those words get interchangeable. So it's the underground theme, huh? 30 years later, I now know that. Yeah, this is something everyone has heard, I think. There's no way you haven't heard that motif. So by underground, excuse me. So by underground, does that mean when you go into the pipe? A little bit of a fusion genre here. I feel like I have to listen to the original now or something, you know? I like what they did with this though. Like how do they turn a little into a whole piece? Let me see if the original was requested. Ooh, I like that. I love how busy they made Mario Kart World soundtrack. Wait, there's still a guitar version later, and this one's been loaded with a guitar already. What does that mean? Okay, there's gonna be a lot of questions here. This one is okay. Oh man, where do I start? Okay, just for all the new viewers, TLDR in like 5 seconds. I never played a Mario game, but I've obviously heard of Mario. I've heard that theme my entire life. I definitely heard da 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 da. There's also the dun 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 dun. But all these like little things that associate with Mario's throughout the years, I've never known like their song titles or actually have listened to them in full. I think even including the one I just hummed, like the main theme. But I've always been confused because I'm looking at the box art for Super Mario Bros. And it looks to be like the first one. But I guess in my mind, when I envision or I hear the word super, that sounds like a sequel or a different version. So maybe it was just always Super Mario Brothers. I don't know. It's kind of weird title if you think about it, Super Mario Brothers. Kind of doesn't make sense, but now this is, I'm being totally transparent here. I don't know how or when this happened, but you know how on YouTube when you look up something and it tells you if you've played it before, it's got that little red bar underneath. I looked up the Super Mario Bros. Underground theme, which is a minute long, and it says I've seen this video before. I don't know when or why or how. Was this a topic of some point? So yeah, all these things are going through my head right now. Okay. Cool. That was really cool. That was amazing, actually, because it's funny because I thought that one was going to have like very little to no guitar in it, just because the next one says guitar version. And that one was loaded with guitar and just had all this like funk and fusion and guitar solos and just had this hand percussion style. I really liked actually what they did with that like old theme and just modernized it, I guess. There's really no other way to put it. But yeah, like halfway through I was searching and I see that I've apparently, according to my YouTube history, that doesn't lie, I've seen that video before. Or heard the song. I mean, yeah, I've heard it, but like I don't remember ever clicking like the link. Anyways, the second one, well, let's just get into it. I don't know anything about these. Now I know that there's at least two versions of this song. Damn, now I'm wondering how many actual songs are in that original game. Besides the two that I know. Mario's always been confusing to me. Like I said, growing up alongside it, I think I know what some things are, but clearly I don't. This is Underground BGM guitar version. Damn, it's already sick. I already like this version better and I haven't even heard it. What are they going to do with this one? That is the coolest shit I've ever heard. Oh my god. Genius. Oh man. They turned it into a freaking song from Spain. This is already up here as like top 3 Mario songs I've ever heard in my life. Ever. And there's a reason why, actually. Oh, dude. That's so cool. Oh! at the end. Damn, no hate to that first song, but who cares? No, they're both good. Story time. Kind of. This is why I love music so much, not just video game music. Like, it all comes back and circles back to my true love, which is just music and the stories that I have with it. Well, it's not really a story. I'm gonna just try to like piece it together. I'm gonna show you why, or just try to demonstrate why this is so cool to me. For the longest time, through my teens and late teens, early 20s, I was really big into Metallica, just like most guitarists at some point. And through Metallica stuff, I discovered a guitar acoustic duo called Rodrigo y Gabriela, or Rodgab. I think they still perform. I think there are a couple that play. I don't either. Well, it's a girl and a guy that play a like nylon guitar. The girl does all the like rhythmic stuff, like she hits it like a drum, and the guy does like all the leads, pretty much. But they're both like in perfect sync. It's crazy. So I discovered them too because of Metallica, and then from discovering them, I saw them live in Hollywood at the Palladium. And I remember that specifically because a rum and coke cost me $25. Music venues that charge absurd prices should be something. But yeah, if you've never been to a concert, don't drink anything, don't buy anything, just have all that beforehand. And I saw Rodrigo y Gabriela, which is a two-piece again, but they had this like whole band set up. I think it was called Cuba, Cuba. I could be wrong about that. But they also released like an album called Area 52. You can look it up on Google. It's like a blue and red album with this logo on it. And it's like Rodgab and this like, what I have to imagine would be like a Cuban band. I'm not entirely sure. But it and they just did songs of theirs. A lot of it sounded like this. And one of my favorite songs from that was called Logos. Also 1111. There's a bunch. I can't remember all of them. But basically, this brought me back to that. That was probably one of the last physical CDs I bought. This had to have been like 2010, 2011. Yeah, something like that. And I remember I bought it at like Amoeba Records. You know, so I don't know what the last physical album was, but I think it might have been that. It was either that or some Amon Amarth, which are totally different. So, and then of course at that time I still do, but I was playing a lot of fingerstyle, like flamenco guitar. So I was like really wrapped up in that stuff. Also, by the way, if you for some reason get into Rodgab and want to hear more of it, my favorite song by them is called Satori. It's an incredible song. Anyways, so this instantly reminded me of that because it has that like acoustic thing, but also has that like background band that has like that Latin flavor with it. But it just happens to be the underground theme of a classic game, which I now just confirmed the name of 5 minutes ago. So it all kind of feels like this whole complete quest moment for me. When I heard it in the first song, I heard the motif immediately, right? I was like, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, oh, okay, cool. Neat. It was very novelty to me. Like, it's awesome, but it was like novelty to me. I didn't grow up with the game. So I feel like anyone who didn't play Mario and heard that would probably feel the same way I did. Just like, oh, hey, that one. But the second one, they nailed it. That is so cool because it's done in a way where it's almost not recognizable. If I were to show someone this blind, maybe they would pick up on that. Wait, that sounds like Mario, kind of. No, but it's not. That's the genius of it. That was so cool. And it just reminded me of all these phases, right? Like my Metallica phase, my flamenco phase. my always love for video game music, and then now hearing all this like Mario stuff lately, it's just reminds me of why I do this. I have many stories. I just don't always share them, right? Because I always try to make the videos about the songs and like what I feel, but sometimes what I feel is gonna shoot me back to a memory that I have because I didn't play these games, so I can just relate it to something. Big recommend again, Satori, Tamakun, or the Metallica cover, Orion, that they did. They covered Orion. Big fan of their stuff. Oh man, that was cool. Maybe in the pinned comment, I'm gonna leave some of my favorite songs by them, and the top one will be the one that this reminded me of, which is the one with Cuba. Well, today I learned that song is called Underground BGM. I'm very confused as to why I have it in my history. Don't know why that's there. And I don't know. That's just the Super Mario World is cool, or the Mario Kart World. And again, if you missed it, I am going to. Well, I haven't told anyone this really, so I guess this is my really debut of saying this. But in 2026, I'm gonna like take a break from RPGs and stuff, and mostly play Nintendo for the first time, not counting Xenoblade, because I never played Nintendo. Only Pokemon Yellow and now Xenoblade. But I want to like meet Link and Mario and Luigi and Kirby and Samus, all that. So expect some Nintendo titles in 2026. I'm excited because it's been far too long. And yeah, so now you know. Don't ask me what games are because don't ask me what games because I'm still deciding. It's still very far away. Okay, sorry for the F-Fest, but hey, that was cool. That is one of the coolest songs that I've heard on the channel, but also like top 3 Mario songs here. That's really good. Woo! Thank you, Miro, and thank you for your patience as well. Thank you to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Wahoo!